Hi, and welcome to Guy with Too Much Time. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're actually going to make something called Churro Bites, which is a recipe that I got from Disney Parks. So what are we going to need for this? We're going to need 1 cup of water, 8 tablespoons of butter, which is 1 stick, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 3/4 teaspoons of ground cinnamon divided, 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, 3 eggs, 1 1/2 cups of vegetable or canola oil, and 1/2 cup of sugar. Well, let's begin. We are going to need obviously a pot or two to cook these things in, some measuring cups, teaspoon, 1/2 tablespoon. We're going to use this thing called a piping bag, which I'm not real sure of. We're going to need some flour, some sugar, and, well, some help. So we start. Well, we start by putting into a pot 1 cup of water, 8 tablespoons of butter, which is 1 stick, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Now, honestly, I probably would have liked to have started the heat on this before this, but my daughter wanted to put the heat on after. So what kind of heat do we put that on? We put that on a medium, which is a 5. Now, we're going to go ahead and sort of combine this, get this mixed a little bit. The idea here, of course, is that we actually want this to get to be a rolling boil before we go anything further. So while we're waiting for this to boil, which did take quite a long time, we decided to, well, we have to make a cinnamon sugar mixture. So we started with a container. We added 1/2 teaspoon of ground cinnamon to that, and then we added 1/2 cup of sugar to that. Now, of course, if anyone that's watched anything on Guy with Too Much Time, what comes next, we all know, is the mixing and combining part, which we all love doing so very, very much. Now, this mixture was a lot more helpful than you might think. It wasn't just a good coating for the outside of our churros, as I suspected it would be. We ended up using it in other areas too, which you will later see in the video. So, as we're waiting for this to come to a rolling boil, this is actually speeded up. It wasn't really looking like that at this point. We started to get a little impatient, so we started to make a Zen garden out of our mixture here. You see the waves. It helped put us all into a better mood. In fact, at some points, we were even playing tic-tac-toe in this to keep us, well, engaged. But the Zen garden thing was really very helpful for our psyches. Yep, here comes this. Yeah, my daughter actually did beat me in the game pretty badly. So our mixture has hit our rolling boil here. So now we need to reduce the heat to low. Now, what we're going to do is add a 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour to this, and we're going to mix this until it starts to form a ball. Now, here again, I really wasn't sure what a ball meant, but my daughter said, well, that just means it really combines really nice and starts to look a little bit like a ball. So I took her word on it because it's sort of like the blind leading the blind sometimes, but our outcomes are usually pretty good. Now, once our mixture started to form a ball, we actually remove it from heat for about 5 to 7 minutes. I guess to get it just sort of cooled down a little bit. And we set our timer for 6 minutes because, well, that's right in between 5 and 7 minutes. And again, we did some more of our Zen garden here, which was really cool. Next, we're going to heat up our vegetable oil or canola oil, and that's 1 1/2 cups. Now, if I was going to do this again, I probably would not have used my wok-like thing there. I probably would have used an honest-to-God pot because I think the oil would have gone a little bit higher up. Nope. I'm still going to actually use this guy. I'm actually going to use this guy, not really a pot, so I can pour that back in there. Now, I did put this up to a 6 to get this heated up, but I really should have put it on more like a 4 or a 5. Now, while that's heating up, I'm going to add 3 eggs, 1 at a time, to this mixture and get it stirred in and combined. I'm not really sure why the directions said to do that, but I assume they knew better than me. Or maybe they just wanted to slap around. I don't know, splash around rather. So we add that 1 at a time to get that, well, kind of good and combined. It was kind of really sticky, and it was really, yeah, as you can see her sort of choking up on the spatula there. You actually really had to mix this pretty hard. Mixing our eggs in 1 at a time. Again, it was 3 eggs, 1 at a time. Now, what we're going to do after we do that, get that all mixed, yeah, it definitely forms kind of a nice mixture there. It's almost like peanut butter in a lot of ways. Now we take this thing called a piping bag, fold down the outside of the piping bag when you're going to put this in. It makes putting the dough in a lot easier. Using a spoon to put it in there one at a time. It is a little sticky. Try to shake it down a little bit. Again, if I had to do this again, I would actually go with the largest extruder that I could find for the piping bag, but I didn't really know much about it. Now here's my daughter cutting these things into here in about 2-inch to 3-inch, and in some cases we did 6-inch long churros. Now again, I think we would probably, if we were to do this again, we would get the largest extruder we could find. These were really a good snack, and in fact, I had to do many batches of these. My kids kept eating them as they came off. Now, again, that's what they look like as they're cooking. What you want to do is once they hit kind of a golden brown that you like, the golden brown, we all know the golden brown that we like to see, we're going to go ahead and take that off. Again, you're keeping that oil, I think it's 350 degrees, roughly speaking. I went for like a 4 or 5. Now, here again, there's my golden brown, taking them off there. And I'm going to let them drain a little bit on some paper towels. And after they drain just a little bit on the paper towels, what I'm going to do is put them into that cinnamon sugar mixture. And these really come together very quickly once you start throwing them into the cinnamon sugar. And then right from the cinnamon sugar, they go right on your plate. Well, that's pretty much it. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. If you have any comments, please comment down below. Guy with too much time, signing out. Hope you enjoyed.